Go ahead.
Good morning. I'm Brian, Matt, and Dave, who's actually one of the other current FCE Assistant Scoutmaster. Dave's going to be sticking Assistant Scoutmaster for that program through the next year, also with Harry Holtic.
So that program being the new Scout program.
Right.
So FCE stands for First Class Emphasis. You'll hear that a lot. Also, it's just the new Scout program. So the first year, we're trying to get you guys, your Scouts in first class. That's kind of the goal.
All right. And that's exactly it. What is the FCE program? So you'll hear that. You may hear remnants of FCE. There is no such thing as an FCE Scout. There's a Tenderfoot Scout, second class, and first class. FCE is a program. That's what program. And it's first class emphasis. So everything in their book from Tenderfoot, second class, first three ranks, is what we focus on in that first year. And by that, it's a series of opportunities for them to come to and learn those basic skills. And those are the basic skills that is at the core of everything scouting. When you think of Boy Scouts and first aid and knots and everything, those are the skills in that first three ranks. And what we offer enough opportunities of in the first year to be able to complete that.
I think you're with Blue Card, right?
No, that's Dave Wallace.
Oh, he showed up.
Yeah, he's here. Okay. So a couple things in that first year, though, is it's really a transition to the boy functioning on their own. Meaning, the boys should be doing the communications with the scoutmasters for their Scoutmaster conference, with their patrol leaders, emails to the patrol leaders. Put the parents on copy, because even though it's supposed to be the boy doing the work, we do realize it's the parent helping guide them along. Don't pack their bag, give them a list, let them pull their gear, double check it. There's nothing wrong with saying, okay, did you grab your gear, look over it? It's going to be 30 degrees out. You think you need a little bit heavier jacket? If you throw everything in their bag, the worst thing to hear at a camp out is, well, I don't know, my mom packed my bag. Okay, well, aren't you supposed to be packing your gear? Check them, but have them do it. Push them to do it. Same with the communications with their patrol leader. Actually, in this case, it's going to be the patrol leader and the troop guide.
Right. So let me talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
So for our new Scout patrols, and you've seen them at the meetings, we've got two older Scouts, Davis and Brendan, who have stepped up to be troop guides. And so their job, just like it says in the name, they're there to guide the patrol, to help them learn how to be leaders and how to run their own program. And so for the first 6 months, they're going to be very, very actively involved with the patrol and, doing a lot of the same things that you'll do with your Scout. They'll be saying, do you have your menu planned? Do you know who's going to be cooking? Do you know who's tenting with you? But the boys are going to elect a patrol leader out of the group of new Scouts, and there's going to be rotating patrol leader position over the next year, where they each get a chance to be the leader of the patrol, and they'll work very closely with their troop guide to make sure everything runs smoothly. So when it comes time to, and I know communications can sometimes be a big challenge, when it comes time to prepare for a camp out, and you asked your son, who are you tenting with, or how are you getting there? If they don't know, their first line of questioning should be to their patrol leader and their troop guide, because those are the guys that are going to be watching out for them. By the time we get through the summer and after summer camp, the intent is for the troop guide to try to take a little bit of a step back, still be involved with them, but the patrol leader will then take more and more responsibility. So by the time we get to the end of the year, they'll be able to run their own patrol. That's the goal.
Yep. All right, a couple of quick things. What is a patrol box? You'll hear this. It's going to be all their cooking gear, so camp stove, a lantern if they want it, their mess kits, cooking pots, pans, and things like that. The patrol should start working on setting that together, and they can do that as everyone pools in so much money and they buy gear. Pots and pans, I would say garage sales are a great thing. Find those hand-me-down, knocked up pans to throw in the box, things like that. But it's something they'll build on. But as a group, and they own that throughout. They carry it with them. We are looking at.
We're considering going to troop patrol boxes where they just check a patrol box out at a camp out, but we're not there yet. So basically right now there's each patrol And usually it's donations from parents. You know, they put it into a big Tupperware bin, and that's their patrol box. And it's common patrol gear. So mess kits, you could put mess kits in there. I would think that would be in their personal gear, maybe. For sure, it should be in their personal gear. And we can talk about personal gear as well, what you'll need to get.
How many kids are in the patrol?
Patrol is usually 6 to 8. Sometimes they go a little bigger, sometimes they shrink a little smaller, but we generally try and set them up to about 6 to 8, 6 to 10 scouts. So
I think this year they're both set right around six per patrol. What is a patrol advisor? Now this is something that this is an adult. Those that did, well, I wouldn't even equate it to a den leader. Patrol advisor is one adult that's kind of tied to that patrol that is the parental interface, right? They keep an ear on what's going on in the patrol meeting. They don't run the patrol meetings. They keep an ear on what's going on. They can keep the other parents informed of what's going on within the patrol. And kind of give the troop guide and the patrol leader a nudge in the right direction if they need to. So they'll be the ones to double check the books that, hey, you know what, you guys are kind of missing this requirement. Why don't you consider doing that at the next patrol meeting, right? So it is kind of a direct involvement. We're going to be asking for somebody within each patrol to step up and take that position. It is a registered position. And then we have some specific training for that, I think on Tuesday night. So something to think about tonight. You know, is that the position I'd want to be? You do need to get registered YPT trained.
Coming over to poke me.
But you know, it's not a bad position. And
Go Fritzy. I was a den leader for 4.5 years.
Perfect.
So.
But you know, it's a nice transition because you kind of understand the program, you understand the communication stream, you understand the challenges with scout communication streams, and it's that buffer for all the parents, so they're not all inundating the patrol leader at once, and you get.
I wouldn't mind doing.
I mean, the other key thing is you're keeping them safe too. So if they're getting rowdy, or if they're being, teasing, too much teasing or something going on, you're making sure that they're safe and they're comfortable as a group. Yeah. So that's a very important one. And we require the first patrol meetings that the patrol advisor be in the meeting to start off with. The first few patrol meetings. After they become an established patrol and they're comfortable with each other, they can. You can step back, go down to the kitchen if you're meeting at someone's house or whatever. You don't have to be in the room. But first off, you should be right there. You should be a presence and make sure that there's no one out scout.
And then we will work as the assistant scoutmasters. Eric and I will work with the troop patrol advisors to just do a check-in on a monthly basis and say, how's the patrol doing? Are there any problems that we need to be aware of? We make sure the ship is steered in the right direction.
How many patrols are there?
There's only
2 new ones.
2 new patrols, but the overall troop has.
I'm not sure if there's a dozen.
Yeah, a lot. And it's basically every year we've had 2 or 3 or 4 patrols even join. So.
Do they ever all get together, like the whole?
That's troop meetings in camp house.
Troop meetings. Yeah.
So troop meetings are every other Tuesday night, and I think you've probably been to one of those, haven't you? Didn't I?
I went to no.
He's brand new. Oscar joined Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
I went last Tuesday because they were doing the getting set up for the.
Okay.
And then this Tuesday.
And last Tuesday is just like what we do on a normal every other.
So these Tuesday coming up is going to be the first actual first meeting.
Okay, so troop meetings is the whole troop, and generally, and always, that's every other week. There's some exceptions when there's holidays and things like that. And, we don't meet in the summertime for troop meetings.
Okay.
For patrol meetings, it's up to the patrol. Generally, new scout patrols are very busy the first year because they got all kinds of requirements and training that they need to get done. And so lots of times they'll meet right before the troop meeting, or some patrols want to meet the off week. They meet on a Sunday night, or the patrol decides that pretty much. So whatever's good.
And actually, Oscar's your son, right?
Yes.
So Oscar's not going to be in a new scout patrol. He's going to be in an existing patrol.
Right. That'll be
With John, right?
Oh, he's in 8th grade, right?
yes.
Okay.
And so we're going to be, because now that patrol has a new scout, so that puts that patrol into my remit, and I'm going to be talking to their patrol leader, making sure they're having the meetings and making sure that Oscar's getting the chance to learn his skills.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So for the new scout program, we have special events for them. For like, we'll go to the pool and do the swimming requirements, or like this camp out is really the new scout camp out to do a lot of training for them. And so Oscar would be included in that new scout group, obviously, even though he is with an older patrol, because he still needs to get all the same training. That's not that he has to catch up or anything, but he needs to go through the same school.
All right. Emails we touched on a little bit earlier. The scouts should be sending the emails. We can tell the difference between a scout sending us an email asking for a Scoutmaster conference and a parent asking. Parent questions, we don't mind if they're parent questions on direction, but if it's something to do with I need a conference or I need this or what about that, the scouts should be working through their patrol leader or up to their Scoutmaster. If it's I need a conference, it should be straight to that Scoutmaster. If parents asking us, we're going to say, okay, they need to come ask us. We'll gladly do it. Right? The Scoutmasters for their conferences are very flexible, very accommodating. We realize we don't want them getting discouraged when they're going for that rank advancement at conferences.
I'll say in a minute what a Scoutmaster conference is and how you go for the rank.
Okay, so the last thing